Good.
Okay, guys. So, for you guys that missed this week's afternoon classes, we went over in great detail a lot of the Omoplata series that I like to use a lot. So I'll do a quick review for you now. For you guys that missed, it'll be a sample of what we did, not quite as much because the video will be too long, but we'll take a look at some things we went over. All right. First things first, we want to look at how do we actually finish the Omoplata, because we can get there a variety of ways. So as we get to the Omoplata, one of the first things I want to do is make a grip on his belt, cup his heel, reach over the waist, pending gi or no gi situation. But I want to grab something so he doesn't roll right off the bat, okay? Step two, I want to push off my foot in my hand to scoot myself away. Notice that brings his head down. If I stay here, he can look up, he has power to arch up, so I need to scoot myself away and straighten the legs. Brings his head to the mat. Now, hook his back, and what I want to think about doing here is bringing his elbow to the mat. This is a big difference. The old school Omoplata way, watch how far it takes for him to tap. Look. And then during this time, a lot of times he rolls me through, yes. So in this case, I want to push the elbow to the mat and hide it with my shin. Once I do that, my feet together, knees together, and now look, he taps right away. Okay, so this is kind of the way we want to finish the Omoplata, however we get there. All right, so now let's look at some setups. Let's look at a single leg. This is the first one we looked at in our series here this afternoon. We were in here, he was in on a single. So, of course, crawl out, push the head a bit, a little bit of a whizzer. And what I want to do in this case is, look, start facing myself in the same direction as him, here. As I do this, I'm going to roll through my left arm and try to find his tricep if possible. Boom. I find myself in Omoplata. Now, let's say I made a grip, but the man rolls anyway. So, I always have my hand here, I slow his roll down with my left hand, my right hand already has the wrist. I scoot myself in, I lay back, finding the wrist, and finish with the armbar. All right? The next one we looked at was from the guard with the gi on. There's our collar and sleeve control. A lot of times when I'm here, the man stands up, I have collar and sleeve. Now this is a good way to enter Omoplata. However, the problem is it's a strength match between me and him here, because both of our elbows are facing down. So it's like a tug of war, who's going to be stronger? So I found a way to get rid of this strength match is I lift my hips, I turn his wrist, and I force it to my hip. Now the strongest guy isn't going to be able to get his arm out. He's stuck. And you also see it's perfect for me to enter my Omoplata. Now as I'm in Omoplata, again, same grip as before. I got the heel, I got the wrist, he rolls. And as he rolls, I see I'm going to miss the armbar. No problem. My hand goes to the mat, and I scoot my hips in as close as possible. I bring the foot on the bottom shoulder, and I lay with it. Now this isn't enough to finish because it's easy for him to pry open my knees. So I want to take my feet, again, feet together, knees together. I finish the knee bar on the bottom shoulder. All right. The next one we looked at was a gi or no gi situation. I find myself swimming and getting to an overhook. Not a conventional overhook. I'm going to use a bit of a modified overhook. What I'm going to do is actually keep my hand posted on his shoulder, my elbow on top of his, and now my foot goes in the hip. This is a very effective overhook. It's hard for him to get out. But I still have my hand. See, when I come in here, now I lose one hand. So this is good for me. Second step, my thumb goes here, I scoot away, and I escape my knee. Now we're going to use what's called the padlock. I'm going to come underneath, and I lock my hands here. So if he tries to pull away from me, he can't. If he tries to drive in, he can't. He's basically stuck in this position until I feel like going to Omoplata. My hand starts pushing on the ear, boom. I scoot away, we end up here. Now that we looked at what happens when you get a strong guy and he wants to keep arching up. Yes. So I'm trying to push the man down, he keeps arching back. So in this case, I want to seesaw with him. I want to find his weight. I push. As he comes back, I slowly my hips up. I sit on the arm, sit through, and I find myself on top. And finally, one of the last ones we looked at, this week we did a lot of Omoplatas from all different areas, not just the guard. So we looked at an Omoplata from our mount position. So when I mount here, a lot of guys call it S-mount. There's a lot of different names here. I come across, I lift up, I come onto my heel. From here, I spin my hips, and I always do this. I take my 4 fingers and swim through to an overhook. Reason being, if everything else fails, I'll always have Omoplata. And that's what we're going to look at here. We looked at it this week. As we come in here, we step over for armbar. He manages to pull his arm out. Look, I always have my Omoplata as a backup. Now that I'm here, the guy's like a rock. You know, he's really strong. I'm trying to come up, he's pushing me back. I'm trying to roll back, he doesn't go. So in this case, I want to find a submission from here. I'm gonna grab his thumb, just like this. Look, I'm gonna hold his whole hand with his thumb in the middle. And I'm gonna keep his pinky on my chest. My left hand again is on the heel. From here, I hit myself away a little bit so my knee touches the mat. Now my feet together, knees together, I pull the arm out of the socket and then grab my hips. Okay guys, so for you guys that missed, it's a quick review. It's a little sample of what we did this week. If you guys have any questions, of course, we're in the gym all the time. Thanks guys.